Welcome to the Businessmen and Women of Color podcast. I am your host, Ann Austin, and it is my pleasure to bring quality programs to all of you. I am again here with another amazing motivational speaker who's going to blow the place up. So please be sure you stay throughout the whole podcast and also take the time to go to all the other podcasts that are going to be listed on this webpage. These folks are providing such good information. You don't want to miss it, so please take advantage of this unique opportunity. Just in case you didn't know, the purpose of the Businessmen and Women of Color podcast is to share industry information as well as share that same information with career seekers or working professionals who may be entering their line of work. We also want to take a moment to thank our corporate sponsors and partners, our family of authors, Butler Armstead Consulting Solutions, Human Resource Learning Center, J&F Enterprises, and Women Offering Wealth, along with many of our business partners and sponsors who's helping to make this event a success. So today, again, we have a dynamic motivational speaker who's going to be here talking about personal and professional growth as well as self-development. So I wanted to bring Brian Pay to the podcast. Brian is a motivational speaker, mentor, and community servant based out of Mecklenburg, Charlotte, North Carolina. I think I got that right. Okay. His purpose is to make the difference by whatever means he feels necessary through educating and empowering and also utilizing the power of positive dialect. He instructs individuals and audiences to discover their purpose using subconsciousness information and conscious efforts to live a life of abundance and to fulfill their purpose. In addition to his motivational speaking, he also serves on the board of directors of Caring Hearts of America, which is a 501c3 organization that fights childhood hunger in that area and surrounding countries. And he is also the director of Men of Standard Mentoring and Learning Program. So he's here on the podcast. I want him to share a little bit more about what he is, and I am so excited to be talking to him. So Brian, welcome to the podcast.
Good afternoon, Ann. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. It's an honor to be here. I'm really excited to be on here with you today, and I want to tip my hat to you for all that you do for the small business owners and the community as well. So thank you for having me today.
Oh, you are so welcome. So tell me, Brian, what exactly do you do? Because I'm really curious about when you say that you teach on a subconscious and a conscious level, and I want to get a deeper understanding about what type of motivational speaker you are.
Okay, absolutely. What I do is I remind some and instruct others how to utilize subconscious information and have it to form some type of rapport with conscious effort in order to move to another level of existence, whether it's personally or professionally. Majority of the information is already subconscious information, so it's in the back of our minds. I help you and individuals and groups to bring it to the forefront.
Okay.
Just so we can make positive moves.
So I just want to break it down. So he wants to use subconscious, subliminal type stuff, but I want you to kind of really define what exactly that means because I don't want people to be confused about.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to be very clear to everybody
Right.
exactly how you do that.
When I go speak, and generally I like to speak to smaller, intimate groups, so it's more one-on-one and it's more personal like that. I'll speak to large groups as well, but the smaller groups, the information is just basic. There's no tricks to this. It's nothing really deep that will drown in. It's just simple information that we all have. I help bring the spark out. And let me say this, people say motivational speakers, I can't motivate you. I can't motivate anyone. What I do is I provide some tools and essentials to help you realize that spark and motivate yourself. So the subconscious information, it sounds really deep, but it's really not. I don't want anyone to look too deep into that word because when we see that word, it's kind of intimidating. It's just information that we all, the majority of us, already know. It's just the bringing it out of you. That's all.
Okay, so when you start off with your speech, do they know that it's coming, or do you just kind of just say it and then all of a sudden it develops into a conversation where they say, aha, I didn't even realize I had that in the back of my mind because I thought about that last month, or maybe this happened to me and I know I would need to do this now and I've been thinking about it forever. So how does that come about in your workshops?
What I do is I've developed a series of motivational or empowerment quotes, and all of them are subconscious information. And you just said it, Ed. Many people just have that aha moment. The information that I give, it's just so simple. You can be thinking of it today, and I'll throw it out there in a quote, an original quote, might I add, an original quote, and oh man, that's what I was thinking. Let me make some moves. I need to, do this, just simple things. Just for an example, I must step out of my comfort zone and explore the unknown. I have missed countless opportunities due to fear, ignorance, laziness, greed, and the love of instant gratification. I must endure temporary inconvenience in order to reap the benefits of long-term positive results. And I will give that quote in my workshop or seminar, and some people will be sitting there with their mouth to the floor because sometimes that's what they were thinking. And there's so many people that are just stuck in the comfort zone, but they've exhausted everything. There's nothing left in the comfort zone. So they'll just sit there, and they just can't put that into words. So that helps them bring it to the forefront and make conscious efforts at that time. That's when we make moves.
Okay, so how many people have you actually affected with this method? I'm really interested to find out what type of outcome or examples of outcome that you can probably present when they had that aha moment, or when they heard what you said and they had their mouth open and it was like, oh my goodness, he's saying everything I've been thinking for the last 2 months, and now I'm going to go back to him and tell him this.
Okay, you saying how many people?
May
Ooh,
just just give a number, or maybe share an example of some of the outcomes, because I want to make sure that we understand exactly what it is that you're bringing out of them when you talk about these quotes and the subconsciousness and stuff. And I know most of it is empowerment, but I also kind of want to give an example, because when people are listening to the podcast, they're going to sit here and try to decipher what you mean, and I want to make sure we understand what you mean.
the outcome, it's been nothing but positive. People come to me after the workshop and they want me to coach them one-on-one, and they just come with me with the same thing. It's the same outcome. That was amazing. Even though it's information that they already know, it's just so simple. It's subconscious information. But to answer your question directly, the outcome is always positive. Always, I'm very optimistic about my method and the routes that I take to reach the individuals. And it's so simple. It's ABC.
So I could tell in the passing of your voice that you are very excited when you are giving people this information. What are other things that you talk about in the midst of your speech during your workshops? Because I'm pretty sure that that is just one aspect of it. So I kind of want you to elaborate on some of the other things that you provide in addition to letting people know that this is your potential. You should have realized this a long time ago.
and just what you just said, that last sentence, you should have realized it a long time ago. I also share my personal stories because I should have realized this a long time ago. But the way we think now, of course, we did not have. Well, let me say the way I think now. I did not have the same mindset back then, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because if it hasn't happened yet, that just means you're probably not ready for it. I was not ready for this mindset back then. So now I'm up to a point where I reached another level of existence, personally and professionally. I'm at a point where I can help someone and others reach another level, whatever their next level is.
Okay.
Because we're all
So,
not meant to be the same
okay.
way.
Right. Okay. So, how did you stumble upon this line of work? What made you go there?
First of all, I have the gift of gab. I've always had the gift of gab, so I like to talk. So You got to have a big mouth to be in this business. Let's just keep it 100. But if you have something positive to say, that's awesome. Now, I'm going to give you this, and it is, oh, my God, this is true 100%. Some years back, I was on lunch break. I was at Subway, okay? And I'll be the first to tell you that I have very little patience. But I was in line at Subway, and there was a lady standing in front of me. She had her two small boys. They had to be about 5 and 6 years old. Okay, now, of course, they're running around, cutting flips, sliding on the floor, dusting the floor with their clothes and everything. Okay, she's trying to ask each one of them, what do you want? What do you want? And they're not paying attention. They're 5 and 6. They have no attention span. And I'm behind her. Again, I have no patience. I'm on lunch break. I'm shifting from one leg to the other, thinking in my mind, lady, please hurry up, get your kids a sandwich, and get out so I can get mine and get back to work. Okay, while I'm standing there, I'm looking on the line. You know, Subway have all these options, right? You been to Subway?
I love Subway food.
Oh man, Subway is the best. They have all these options. You have your cheese, you have a jalapenos, banana peppers, everything. Everything's there for you to choose what's best for you and to make your sandwich the best ever. I just thought about my life because things weren't going the way I wanted them to go. And you know, it might be a funny metaphor, but this is what happened. I'm in Subway. I'm just basing all of this on my life. Okay, I have so many choices, options, and decisions that I'm supposed to make in order to make my life the best ever. Now, I had to make choices, options, and decisions. No one was there with me. My mother, my father, my sisters, my girlfriend, no one was there to help me. So, what I'm saying is, I used to play the blame game. Now I play the brain game. I have all accountability. We have to accept all accountability for the choices, options, and decisions that we make. So that was one of the instances that changed my mind, which changed my life. And you know, it was a gradual process. But standing there in line at Subway is basically all of the choices, options, and decisions. No one can make these choices, options, and decisions for me. I have to do them for myself. I knew what I wanted to do, but again, I was playing the blame game instead of the brain game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of us play the blame game when things are not going our way, and I'm glad that you were able to
Absolutely.
figure that out. But that's another reason why I'm really promoting a lot of us to come on and really open up and talk about not only our business but our personal story, because we're all human and we all have to realize that we can't blame other people for the failures of our actions. We just can't do that. And
Right.
so, yes, I love the analogy that you used, that when you're in Subway, you have a lot of choices and decisions, and whether you're going to get the Italian B&T, which is my favorite, or the seafood delight sub, or maybe the, one of them. What's the other one that they have? The meatball sub. Okay,
Oh
whether you
man.
get one of those choices, the outcome is going to be delicious if you just
Yes.
make the decision and commit to it, and that's really all it's going to take. So, okay, so fast forwarding. Okay, so you got your sandwich finally, and then what happened?
I got my sandwich. I got my life. I got my sandwich. I got my life. So basically, what I just started doing is just speaking to people. People are, it goes with my personality too. I've been told, I don't want to blow my own horn. I've been told I have a, nice personality. I can meet you at Walmart and we can stand there and talk for about 30, 45 minutes to an hour like we've been old friends forever. I'm standing there talking to people and people telling me man, I want to do this, and I'm like, blah, blah, blah. I'm throwing it right back at them. I'm throwing the positive energy to them. It's my dialect, it's my verbiage that I'm using, and my delivery. I'm like, hey, I like this. I'm helping somebody, and it feels good. And I'm gonna ask you this: this is a quote by Mark Twain. What are the two most important days of your life?
Birth and birth.
Okay, that's one.
Birth
What's
is
the
one.
second?
Birth is one, and for me, it's one, being alive. Number two, accomplishments. Number three, empowering someone else. So I actually have three.
Okay, you cheated, but okay, that's fine. But this is a quote by Mark Twain: "The two most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you discovered why you were born." which is your purpose. This is when I found my true purpose. When I said, okay, I like this. I feel good about it. I'm helping someone. It feels good, and I'm helping myself also. So when I speak to people, I'm not only at the podium, I'm sitting on the front row as well. That's why most of my quotes says, note to self. You with me?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Brian. I'm gonna tell you, you got this place lit up because I can feel your passion and I can actually feel and see your excitement because
Oh, man.
we have to get excited. We have to get
Exactly.
excited. Now, we can't be walking around in the funk all the time and be upset. We have to get excited about what you're talking about, just discovering what we need and then taking that to another level and doing something positive. You're going to hear positive 1,000 times in this podcast because everybody who has or doing something that we're all doing, either empowering or doing a business, we all
Hmm.
had a bad moment in our life and was
Right,
able to
right.
turn it around to what you have right now.
Absolutely. Just like you said, we're all human. We make mistakes. We make bad decisions. Some of us go through life while others of us grow through life. Just saying change is mandatory. Growth is optional. I mean, we can go through, again, we go through life and others grow through life. I decided at that point, I don't want to just keep going with the blaming these people and all that. No, if I do that, I'm still living in slavery, mental slavery. It took my people over 300 years to get out of slavery. I'm not trying to put myself back in a mental state. And so many of us are still there. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Latino, Hispanic, European. It does not matter. Some of us are still stuck in mental slavery. And we live in one of the richest countries in the world. One of the richest countries in the world. Now, I'm going to tell you this. If we have had no vision for the last 8 years, we have made no progress for the last 8 years, and have no visions for the next 4 years, then the president is not in fault. He's the least of our problems.
Okay.
That's if we haven't done anything in the last 8 years with Obama, and we don't have a vision. And everything starts with vision. I live
Right.
in a city where Bank of America headquarters is located here. I see that building, and it's not just a building to me. It was someone's vision. It did not start there. You have to start somewhere with the vision. You have to see it. So when you see yourself doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is your purpose, going back to Mark Twain, the two most important days of your life, the day you were born, the day you found out why you, or discovered why you were born. I discovered why I was born. Only I will sit here to do a certain feat or perform a certain task. If I don't do it, it will not get done. If you don't do it, you did not have to produce this podcast with these certain individuals at this time, it will not get done. So I believe it might be a part of your purpose, but that's not for me to make that determination.
Right. You got to do it for yourself. Absolutely.
That's it.
So I want to turn the conversation around to talk about your involvement with Caring Hearts. How did you come across this organization and what exactly do they do?
Absolutely. Caring Hearts America was started by my sister about 6 or 7 years ago. It is a 501c. Okay, we fight childhood hunger in the Charlotte, Mecklenburg area. Charlotte is a city, Mecklenburg is the county. You had that right. You had Mecklenburg right. I didn't bother you, though. In the Charlotte, Mecklenburg area. What we do is prepare hot meals and take them to underserved neighborhoods, in underserved neighborhoods, after school centers, Monday through Friday, and provide and serve the meals to children that might not receive a meal outside of school.
That's wonderful.
And it's a 501c, and it was started by my sister. And my sister, she's about, in her 50s now. A wife, mother, grandmother, high school dropout, and ex-drug user. And she's very successful.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm a
Well,
part of the organization.
I'm going to place the link to Caring Heart on your page. So everybody who's listening, please check out Caring Heart. I'm pretty sure they can all use some donations to help fight hunger and help them provide food and resources to people in Charlotte, North Carolina. We definitely have to start being more proactive in helping people that is helping our people. And one of those
Absolutely.
things is also just clicking on the link. It only takes but a second for you to move the mouse over to the link and click on it and
Look,
then hit the donate button. Okay? Because
that's it.
we have to support each other in that. And I really applaud the fact that you and your sister are doing that and actually taking care of the families that's in the Mecklenburg area. And see, I got it right
Right.
this time. Okay.
You did.
I got it
It's
right this
childhood
time.
hunger. You're right. It
Childhood
should be
hunger,
like
because that
child.
is it is too many kids. We live in a society that there should not be any hungry children around at all. We have foster care systems, we have all types of resources, we have grocery stores that literally throw away hundreds and hundreds of pounds of food. There should be absolutely no reason that a child is hungry in the US or anywhere. And if we can do a better job to ensure that our families are taken care of, whether they're our blood family or not, we would be better off. And I can share a short story. One of my very, very longest and best friend, years ago when I was working for the DC government as a temporary word processor, I just came out of business school. She came in there, and I was only, I would say, about 20 years old at the time, with two children, just newly divorced and everything. And I'm sitting there, and she comes in, she's a firecracker, and she gets to meet me. And once she realized that I'm a single mother, she didn't even know me that well. She got on the phone, she called some people, and next thing you know, I had a voucher for a Thanksgiving basket because it was during the holidays. She had her friends who bought clothes for their kids, but they never wore them because I had sons and they had sons, and they donated clothes to me. They donated shoes to me, even if I didn't need it, because here's the thing. Whether I needed it or not, it wasn't about me needing it. It was about the children needing it. And if all of us can just do that to help another person, we will combat and lower the rate of childhood hunger.
You're absolutely correct. And think of it like this as well, and if the children are hungry at school, they cannot perform or function properly. Okay. Think of if we get up every day and go to the office, we haven't had that cup of coffee, or we haven't had that biscuit from McDonald's or what have you, and we just can't function properly. Some of us, I can't stay awake if I don't have a hot.
Yeah,
Give me
you can't function
something
without
hot.
coffee. Yeah, but you know what? You know what, Brian? I guess this is a really hot part of the topic on this podcast, because here's my issue, and this is just my opinion. With the amount of money that we are paying in taxes for the city,
Mm,
especially if you own a home, okay? I own a home. For the amount of money that I'm putting toward the city, I know it goes to a lot of things. Children should not be paying for lunch in school. That's just my opinion. It shouldn't be low income and then we have people in there that have food, because I'm sure that the county can allot some funds for teachers and they can allot some funds for a lunch, which can be one or two things which they offer anyway. I
mm,
think that it should not be a form coming to me saying, how much do you make? Oh, you made this much money, you're going to have to pay for lunch. It should be automatic. All children who are in your possession in that building who you're responsible for should pay for, you guys should pay for lunch. And if it's after 3 o'clock, after school time, then I can see that we might have to pay because now it's after school hours. But for 6 hours a day, with the amount of money that's coming out of my taxes for the city, and I see how much is going to the school systems. And if you count
right.
that by how many people in my neighborhood who have homes, you should have enough money to feed the 200 kids that are in your school. That's
Right.
just my opinion. I'm pretty sure I'll get a whole rack of comments on that. But that's
And
just
I
my
see your point.
opinion, because for years and years, it just boggles the mind of why we have to go through a lot of hoops. And then every year when our taxes go up, we don't see more results going to the school system. And I'm advocating for the school system because teachers need more salaries, children need to eat, they need more material like books and things like that. And I always hear how they're cutting, school programs, or they're cutting something in the school. And I disagree with all of that.
I can definitely see your point, and because especially in the public school, and you just made me realize in the public school, they're going there for free at the expense of the taxpayers, correct? That's
I
correct. They're
mean,
going
yeah, they go in there for
so
free.
right at the expense of us, the taxpayers. So
Hmm.
let them go the whole route, the whole shebang. Give them the free
Exactly.
lunch. They're using the textbooks, utilizing the facility, the gym, all
Hmm.
of that for free at the expense of
Exactly.
us, the taxpayers. So
Yeah.
go ahead and give them the meal for free. Okay, and I'm definitely with you, but don't get me started with that because I believe teachers should be paid better. They should have better qualified teachers.
That's
I
right.
worked in the school system, so I have a great respect for teachers, administrators, and educators, and all public servants. I have a great respect for them. And yes, they could make more money. Again, don't get me started. I told you we live in one of the richest countries in the world.
We are. We definitely are. And I think that this podcast, this one particularly, has a lot of points that could definitely be debated on any number of levels. But we want to make sure that everybody understand we're not judging people. We're just voicing our opinion on how we feel about certain situation in terms of school systems. Because for
Right.
me, it is a growing issue. It's a growing issue because I care about how our teachers and administrators are being able to teach our kids with resources, and they need proper resources in order for them to learn. And if they don't have that, then they're going to be coming out of school at a disadvantage. And we
Right.
we don't want that. And that was the whole reason why me and Brian got kind of escalated on this particular one. But okay, so Brian, let me ask you, are you involved in any other initiatives that you want people to know about on this podcast segment?
Absolutely. What we're doing, I have another level. We do consulting again. Consulting, speaking, coaching, one-on-one. We're having our first empowerment conference in July 15th, right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. There's a small registration fee for this because we're going to over deliver. You're getting the best of speakers in a nice high-end upscale area. You're getting food. You're getting workbooks. You're getting gifts, raffle prizes. All of that, we're just going to have fun, educate, empower, and equip. And we're going to give some subconscious information. We're going to spark people. When I was about 5 or 10 years old, and how you kids play firecrackers and everything.
Yep.
I had a firecracker when I was a little boy, and it had a very short stem on it. Okay, I'm 5 years old, because I don't know it, but 5, 6, 7, between 5 and 10. I lit it, and
Oh no.
immediately, pow! And it blew part of my fingernail off.
Oh no.
It was very painful. so I'm jumping up and down. It sparked me. It made me move. So we're just trying to help people light that firecracker at this empowerment conference on July the 15th. To give you some information to help you move. We can't motivate you. We can provide some tools and essentials to help you realize that spark in yourself. Subconscious information. Simple.
Exactly. And I'm hoping that everybody here is getting a little bit of that. So, this is a networking event. There are people listening to your podcast. There's also folks that are participating in this event. What do you need in order to further your cause or to help you with your service?
What do I need? I need people to go to Eventbrite. Another Level Empowerment Conference. Another Level Empowerment Conference on Eventbrite. Go ahead and register. Put your name out there and go ahead and take care of that small fee. It's just a small registration fee. It's not going to break anyone, I don't think. But just think of it as an investment. You're investing in yourself. I just need people to go ahead and register, get that part out of the way, because we will over-deliver. For what you're getting, you would think you should be paying more, but it's not about that. We do have overhead to take care of. It's not about that. We're looking to take this thing on the road as well.
Fantastic. Well, Brian, I really want to thank you for being on the podcast. And I hope that everybody's listening here, that you had an aha moment, that you felt that maybe there was something that we said that was subconscious or conscious that's going to help you motivate and provide solutions and also serve the community. So, Brian, I want to thank you so much for being on the podcast today and being excited about everything. I know you want to talk to me all day. We got to wrap it up because we have so many other good folks on here, but I'm really grateful and I love your energy. I love your excitement, and I want everybody to feel that here on the podcast. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor. I'm very humble for the opportunity. And you just keep doing what you're doing. Hey, you are making